back in the 60s, I don't know if you remember, well, I know you remember the dance, the Boogaloo. Well, that came from the flamingo, from the routines of the Flamingos. We cut the tune, we wrote the song Boogaloo Party, and well, first let's talk about the routines. We used to do quite a bit of up-tempo things, especially when we had, you know, the big ballads. We used to do the up-tempo things so that when we came behind them to do one of our hits, you know, we would get undivided attention, let's say.
Plus it was show business.
It was show business, yes. You couldn't just go up and do a bunch of ballads. So we always did our own choreography. We never hired anyone to stage the act or anything like that. So in our routines, we came up with this this movement, and it first started out with steps, and then there used to be an extra action within the heads that we used to do with the dance, with the routine. So what happened is we used to close the show with saying, "Dance hardy, stay with your party, and don't bother nobody," right? And everybody used to be in such a thing when it was over with. So what we did, a couple of us, three of us got together, and we sat down and wrote a tune. And we didn't know what to call it. We called it Dance Hardy when we first did it. So anyway, it wound up that we decided that we was going to record something like this. And we recorded it, calling it Dance Hardy, you know, stay with your party and don't bother nobody. So what happened is that we decided to call it Dance Hardy Boogaloo Party. You understand?
And so
come on, everybody.
Right.
See? And so what it started, it was a long time before the Boogaloo caught on.
Right.
It was a long time. So what happened is we went all over teaching people this step. We just got together and we said, let's perfect this movement. And we went on and perfected the movement. We started out in Buffalo in a club. And we saw that the difficulty in the people being able to move their head. They could do everything else, but they couldn't move their head. Right. So we said, well, oh, this is it. This is it. Because it's a challenge. And we went from club to club. And it got to be a very big thing in the 60s.
So the name itself was born.
The name itself.
From the name that you changed from the original routine that you were doing.
And our Boogaloo Party was our big, was the first up-tempo song since we had another one called Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. But the first real big up-tempo song
was Boogaloo Party.
Well, see, and to add to that, see, the tune that there was a dance, before that they used to confuse Boogaloo Party with, was called the dog. That's the reason why we made we specified the action is in the head, not in the hips. See what I mean? So this way, you coordinate the movement of the head and the arms so that you would take away the movement in the hips, where there used to be, so the people say, hey man, that's the dog.
No. Philly dog.
You see, because that's where it originated, the Philly dog.
Well, you did this,
but we put it into the head and movement of the arms and took it out of the hips.
So
and that's
like
where Boogaloo came.
Right.
More than that.
Yes.
In the movie Rock, Rock, Rock,
right,
which you gentlemen were in, you did the
same
same number there, remember?
That was a thing. That was a thing that we used to do all the time. So a lot of times close the show with that. Called Jump Children. That's what we used to call it, Jump Children. It was an old rhythm and blues. Well, really, it was just very popular kind of changes in those days. It was just a up-tempo blues, as they call it, a shuffle blues, as they would call it, and musicians would call it. And we used to do the song, but after a while, we devised some choreography for it. And I guess what was so unique about whatever we did was because it was always a creation from the group itself. It's never someone we never had to deal with the confusion of some outsider.
Right.
Everything we did was
self-contained.
Yeah, it was self-contained.
Right.
Everything was that way. And that's I guess that's the reason why even our harmony, everything. No one came in and just taught us how to sing this part, how to sing that part. We all, we would all.
Zeke and Jake Carey of the Flamingos. This is Gus Gossert in New York City on WPIX-FM And I want to do one of the tunes that we picked out. I'm Yours, which was like on that old Parrot label.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Someday I'll hear you say, I'm yours. Darling, I'm yours. Every kiss says I'm yours. As you see it in my eyes, and you hear it in my song, I'm yours. Oh, my life and my love, dear, are yours to command. I stand here before you, my heart in my hand, I'm yours. All the world knows I'm yours, and I only hope and pray that someday I'll hear you say,
I'm Yours, the Flamingos. This is WPIX-FM in New York City, and we're talking with the Flamingos, Zeke and Carey. And we ended up like with the dance thing, but the next record I got up is I Only Have Eyes for You.
Right.
There's a question.
Right.
In there. In the background is going like a shoo-boop or whatever the hell you're saying. Now, what actually is it?
It's doo-bop, ship-bop, and it's real fast. All you just said with voices against each other, and you get you know, I call it sounds of hallucination, hallucinatory sounds. You know,
right.
Hey, are you saying this? Are you saying that? No, just all shoop-bop, ship-bop. You're saying it real fast. That's all.
And that's all it is. Well, like when the record came out, there was like everybody was wondering, well, what the hell are they saying? You know, because it was so fast that no one really understood exactly what was going on in the background. Could have been one, you know, in 10 different things.
They ran contests on it.
For sure.
Yeah,
rumor here, rumor there.
Yeah.
You know, actually, what were the Flamingos doing on the back of that record? Yeah. So let me get to that record so,
right.
So the people know what we're talking about.
My love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you. Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for the moon may be high,
but I can't see a thing in the sky. I only have maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I only have eyes for you.
And I only have eyes for you. I gotta say, beautiful song, beautiful,
thank
beautiful
you,
song.
thank you.
Big record, big record for you.
Yeah, I can thank a lot of people for that one. That bought it, you know.
I'm holding in my hand the new album by the Flamingos.
Yeah.
Which is called Color Them Beautiful.
Yes.
Right? And Jake, you did the cover design on it,
That
which
I
has
did.
a huge pink flamingo there,
That's the logo of the Flamingos.
and a golf club in one hand. What is that, a 5-iron?
No, that's
something?
actually it's a musical note, but that's what it actually
Looks like a
is.
golf club.
Yeah, it may
Yeah.
look that, but that's what it actually is.
And a top silk hat in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as he go away, he's bound to the Flamingos.
For sure. For sure. I noticed on the end of the album here, it says, let's see, I think the question was asked, and they asked you, like, well, Zeke, since you wrote the back of the cover here, what was the story? They decided to ask you about, to speak of colors in some sense?
In terms of what, in colors, in terms of what we thought about music itself.
Uh-huh.
Since we had done so many different varieties of
Right.
records, they asked us, well, just how do you look at music?
And if I can interrupt you here
Yes.
and read this thing
Yes,
that
please,
Zeke
yes.
Carey wrote on the back of this album, and to your question there, to us gentlemen, creative music is a limitless profession, showing itself in many colors and a million different shades. So should you ever decide to color the Flamingos, may we suggest the colors of a tropical rainbow and the many shades of a Canadian sunset.
That's right.
Very well said. Very well said. And you have a lot of new songs on here.
Yes, we
A
do.
lot of new songs. How did you find making this album to be? Was it like the recording techniques that are used when you did this album just lately? Did you find the whole scene a lot different in the studio than it was before?
Well, I tell you what. The difference now and let's say 10, 12 years ago is they have a lot more. Since I got into producing myself,
Right.
we do our own things now. I just found that there's just a lot more in the studio now in terms of electronic devices, just to confuse a person. You know, like you can cut 24 tracks, man.
Mhm.
You know, and really, what it all boils down to is getting everything to sound right so it can go onto one, or maybe two for stereo purposes. And if you're right, you know, if you go in and you sing right, you balance things right, you know, you can the engineer can cut off let's say, about 20 of those tracks very easily. He can cut off 22 of them, you know, because if you're right, it's going to come out right.
It's going to be beautiful, Zeke, because whenever, like, we don't have the people, like, out in the audience right now, don't have the receiver sets available to, like, play quad. When I speak of quad, I mean, like, 16-track stereo.
Right.
You know. But when they get them, and recording, I mean, they're already doing records. They're already doing records in quadraphonic stereo now. But when you can isolate so many instruments and so many different things, folks out there I'm talking to right now, when you can isolate so many things, you can imagine you'll be able to have a receiver at home. It'll either be on tape, and they have records now that'll pick it up, but if you have to have like a special tuner and a special receiver, you know, to hear it at home. But like you'll be able to have like 4 speakers around your home, and like they won't all. You might only have like 4 different sets of tracks coming out, you know, of each speaker, but you'll have like you might have the drums and something else running from speaker 1 to speaker 3, and also another riff on the drums coming out of speaker 4 going over to speaker 2 and crossing back and forth. So whenever you're sitting in the middle of it and you close your eyes, you're like completely enveloped in the sound, and it's beautiful. And if any of you ever get a chance to, somebody invites you to a recording studio where you can hear this and, you know, just appreciate it, it's fantastic. Because you go back like in 1952, 1954, when there was like 1 or 2 microphones,
Right.
you know, just in the studio, right,
Really?
fellas?
Right.
You know, and you just did your best, and how it came out was the way the record came out.
That was the way it came out.
Yeah.
See,
But I find it very interesting to record with several different tracks. If you know what you're doing,
Mhm.
you know, it is an advantage, and that, just what you were explaining, I've experienced it, and it's
It's
fantastic. It's
fantastic, isn't it?
fantastic. I've experienced that.
Jake, when to go back to that question I was talking about when you were in your tour across the United States, when you've been playing in the different cities, and the Flamingos, you know, have been in all the different shows across the states. Back to that feeling of the different audiences. Like, we know that the New York audience is so totally dedicated and loyal because the records are like born here. They lived here, and the people felt them here. Like, New York is like the smallest town I've ever been in my life. You know, it's the smallest town because everything is neighborhoods, and friends are closer here than in any small town I've ever been. But how is the reaction like in other cities who did not have that close, intimate group sound that happened here in New York? What was that like when you were playing around? Like the reaction of audience and people that you talked to?
well, see, this was the type of thing that we had to come up with ourselves in order to I'll say, to incorporate that New York feeling,
Right.
that New York reception, you know.
So you had to super entertain to get it.
This is the reason why great deal of our performance was audience participation.
Right.
See, because New York, you know, like myself, I say New York is the greatest city in the world. All the rest of them are suburbs.
Mhm.
So to me, and so it's a, you know, and so the type of thing is when you get into these cities, you just bring that New York idea by working with the people, you know, going to the people, and this is the success of our performance came through how we went to the people, you know, and include them into the show, and this is how we got the New York feeling.
Too much. You'll be appearing here in New York at the 4th original rock and roll show here in New York. You'll be appearing there, and that is going to happen, whether you guys know it yet right now or not. But you're going to be there, you know, at the 4th original rock and roll show, along with some many great acts who will be there. But like the phone calls and letters, as I said, that people have written in when we ask them like who they want to definitely have on the shows. You know, you guys always come out, so I know they're all looking forward, you know, to seeing you at that
This
show.
makes us very happy.
Oh, for sure.
Makes me very happy. I just it allows me to go to the bank with exceptional confidence in the people, knowing that
See, let me do a tune.
All right.
That's off the new album, and I see Alan Fontaine wrote this particular.
Yeah, he's a guitarist with the
Uh-huh.
and arranger with the group.
Right. And the side is called "Welcome Home."
Yes.
Welcome Home. You know, and another ballad
yes,
type tune.
balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flamingos from the new album, which is called "Color Them Beautiful." You know, And this is Welcome Home on WPIX-FM in New York. This is Gus Gossert. I see we're pushing like 9 o'clock already, and we're wrapping with the Flamingos.
Welcome home, my love. You've been gone too long. From our hearts waiting, oh, so very long, rolling stone. I cried from dawn to dawn. Welcome home. We were two lovers, wishing on a star, and wishing that we could be somewhere out afar. But nothing seemed to matter, just because we were two lovers. We used to laugh, dance, and sing. Then one day in spring we parted. Oh, since then time has passed. You're home with me at last. We something new, something grand. The world is ours to command. So welcome home, my love. Welcome
That's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you.
home. Super, super ballad for you. Out of sight. And that's from their new album, folks. The Flamingos, Color Them Beautiful. Welcome home. I like to play something else from here. The Gotta Have All Your Lovin' thing in just a second. And, you guys are living in New York.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Like within like the past year or two, where have you been around the country? What do you know? What's been
Oh man.
a lot, huh?
Oh, that's all I can say. Oh man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Most of our appearances have been primarily college dates,
Uh-huh.
concerts, or some private affair. And that has been it, other than a lot of studio work.
You know, don't you find that the college audiences themselves now
Very
are
receptive.
just fantastic?
Love it,
Receptive.
love it.
And they're very appreciative. You know, see, the things that, see, you know, first thing, they are aware. They are aware of what's happening. And so it's something that you don't have to falsify. And they appreciate quality. And that, man, it's just to see you, it just make you work that much harder, man. Even with on the last breath of energy, you still will work for an audience like that. And the college audience, everyone that I have been to, they are beautiful people.
Well, you know, because they like the college student of today has had a chance, because now like everybody has like FM radios aside from AM radios. Everybody has enough money to buy records. They all have like turntables and super speaker systems in their homes that their daddy gives them, or however they get it. But most college students all have these things, so they've heard like just about the best that anyone can throw at them in regard to some of the finest producers on earth today have put out some fantastic material. So they've all heard this, and they know, you know, what is good and what is bad. And like once everyone, like goes through, and everyone says like the college generation and the high school kids today go through a heavy drug number. Well, you know, okay, so it happens or whatever. But some days you walk out in the street, and there's a tree there, and everything else is around, and you realize that like life is still here, and the sun's still going to come up tomorrow morning.
Right.
And everything, really, and they want to get their feet, flat on the ground
Right.
again. So when someone comes along, because you figure over the past 4 years, the music that we've had is like the subculture movement of music. It's used like progressive acid rock as a term in quotes.
Yes.
For a thinking person, a truly thinking person, a person who is like who is real and who wants to be believable and understood in a one-to-one way between believable human beings, then you can take too much of that, because that music is primarily oriented towards the introspective thoughts of a person. So whenever they come out to the simplicity of affairs and the simplicity of matters and naturally the simplicity of music, and someone like you guys come along and lay this right in front of them, they know, and like you just said, you can just feel it, because the vibes are
The
just
vibes
super
are
strong.
up, man. That's it.
Just out of sight.
Man, it is so real that when they come, just like the things you're saying. See, when you come out with the simplicity, man, they set up it. They really, this is the simplicity seems like it intoxicates them, because they said,
it's one-to-one.
That is it.
Yeah.
There is the honest. They're giving you their honest to goodness feeling.
And every group, every musical group or every singing group in the country, everybody reaches out, but like very few touch.
Right.
Very few
Right.
ever touch, which is something that you're lucky, and thank God that it happened, that you had that ability to touch, to touch people, which is exactly what you did.
And this was our technique, and we found this to be this thing helped people to do the thing, to just be themselves, and we just went out and it made him a part of it. He paid his money, so why not he be a part of it?
For sure.
Enjoy himself.
That's right. And this was our motto.
Fellas, let me play another track off this album, and this was this was written by Ronnie Lewis and John Pearson, and
Yes.
Gotta Have All Your Lovin'.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the name of this track. Here we go. Out of sight. Rocketones from 1957 with the Gossert. Don't you think I'm rather lively for this time of night, after all the things we've done tonight? I feel I just got a sudden burst of energy, and if I can think of anything really wise and witty to say, I'll say it, but I can't, so,
You owe yourself the big O. Get to know the big O. Omega 100, Omega 100.
Omega 100 little cigars, 100 millimeters long, filter tip like a cigarette. But what a difference.
Tobacco satisfaction with no inhaling action.
Omega has a special taste that satisfies without inhaling. Get to know the Big O. Omega 100 little cigars.
da-da-da-da-da-da. Folks, if you haven't gone to see Pigeons yet, I'm going to be really peeved. I wonder if they have any other movies at this agency. Pigeons, if you haven't seen it, folks, you're missing a movie that you would love. In New York Magazine, Judith Chris gave it a rave review. And that's a lady that's kind of hard to please. Judith's name is all over the city. Do you believe that? There must be somebody else around, that people can take their opinion from, I would imagine. Because Judith says Pigeons is a youth version of 5 Easy Pieces, which I cannot, that one line kills her whole remark. I just can't get behind everything else. But I'm going to go see that movie. I really am, and I hope you do too. Because there's a British director, John Dexter, and I've read about him in other things before, and he is excellent, an excellent director. And if he can get anything super creative and good out of Jordan Christopher, if anybody can, John Dexter can, And even Roger Greenspun of the New York Times says it is to John Dexter's credit that Pigeons is handled with the intelligence and tension of a director who knows what really can take place. I think John Dexter really can. So I'm sure you'll have something to talk about tomorrow, or Tuesday, if you go see Pigeons tomorrow. It's a delightful new movie Judith Chris has been comparing to 5 Easy Pieces and Midnight Cowboy. Pigeons, it's a Saturn picture, and it's playing at the Little Carnegie Theater on West 57th Street here in New York City. It's rated R, so if you're under 17, you can't get in. Timmy, You ready? Okay, here we go. What's the Matter, Baby? Timmy Euro with the Gossert on PIX-FM. And I want to send out a request for Long Island City, okay? And the record is by the Castelles.
Yesterday.
When will you return?
In the morning, in the evening.
Every weekend, starting at 6 o'clock Saturday and Sunday evenings. Of course, Saturdays we go to midnight. That's like 6 hours and then 4.5 hours on Sunday. I've got a record, which is really kind of neat, and I know you're going to dig, and I have to send it out for all the Italian ancestry and descendants and Italian people who are out there right now. If you have any Italian blood in you at all, listen to this record, and especially if you know Italian, listen to this thing. It was a record, remember like the Chapel of Dreams? It was done by the Dubs. Well, the next record we're going to play is called The Chapel of Dreams, only the Chapel of Dreams in Italian is I mi corne felice. I think I'm correct if I can pronounce that. Dynamite. Thank you, sir. Next week, Bob Dylan. I'm Gus Gossert. This is WCBS-FM. It's exactly 6:30, and you know what's up now. 4 big hours till 10:30 tonight. The Oldies But Goodies Show.
New York is something that you've got to feel, touch, to taste and see. And if you've got any sense in your ear, you got a mind to hear.
All right, Alan. WCBS-FM, New York. Thank you. Well, here we are.
Here we are, everybody. Welcome to the Oldies But Goodies Show.
Come on, let's go to that oldie goodie show. Come on, let's go to that oldie goodie show. We're gonna be the first to swing out on that floor at that oldies but goodie show. Oh, 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 oh. We're gonna do the old house just like we used to do, and before the night is over, it's gonna be some twisting too. I know Mary Lou is gonna do the mess around, and let the oldies but goodies do the best thing that's ever been.
All right, heads up, heads up.
Be on the lookout for Buchanan and Goodman, last seen wearing
black denim trousers and motorcycle boots.
Look out! They're after us! Let's get out of here! Are you Buchanan and Goodman?
Yes, we are.
Hello, hello again.
Well, this is a summons. You're under arrest.
This is Don Cameron in court.
The trial of Buchanan and Goodman is now in session. Is the district attorney ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Call the first witness.
What is your name?
They often call me Stierle, but my real name is Mr.
What is your complaint against Buchanan and Goodman? They wouldn't give me a ride in their flying saucer.
Call the next witness.
What took you so long?
I crashed into the jungle.
Your Honor, I object. What have you got to say?
Order the court. Call the next witness.
Aren't you Skinny Dynamo?
Yes, it's me and I'm
Buchanan and Goodman, have you anything to say?
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Order! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may leave the room. Meanwhile, back in the jury room. We return you now to the courtroom, where the judge is saying to the jury, and the jury is saying to the judge, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yeah. Yeah.
We find them not guilty.
This is Don Cameron again. And now what are you going to do with that summons? This is John Cameron.
And this is the judge saying,
That's all there is to that.
Buchanan and Goodman on trial. Remember, they did that record shortly after they were kind of brought to trial, busted, in other words, by various record companies, because no one had ever released a record that included, remember the Flying Saucer records? Well, no one ever released a record that included other people's songs. So there was a big frenzy a while, so they did a spoof on themselves and brought out Buchanan and Goodman on trial. This is Gus Gossert. Welcome to the Oldies But Goodies Show.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on, join me, hon. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7th heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off and start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Back in 1955.
This one always kind of tore my head apart. It was by the Castelles, and they did it in 57.
I want to have you near, but you're. I want to love you dear, but you're. No matter what the day, my darling, you're too far away. Each time you leave me, you're how my heart grieves me, 'cause you're. What more can I say, my darling? You're too far away. I shouldn't be so possessive. I know it's so plain to see, but darling, you're like a treasure that I feel belongs only to me. Hands on the clock, say you're each day and each time, say you're. I pray, come what may, you'll never ever feel too far away.
So Far Away, the Castelles from WCBS-FM.
Well, Mona Lisa, man, I've named you. You're so like the lady with a mystic smile. Is it only, or is it lonely, you haven't named you? For that Mona Lisa strangeness in your
Lisa. Or is this a way to hide a broken heart? Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art. Lives a girl whose beauty changed her love. Many dreams have been brought to